Hi, Sault Ste. Marie. This is TPL Local. Let's talk camping. Today, we're going to talk about getting into the great outdoors this summer. We are going camping. Jim Lang joining me to talk about this. Hey, Jim.
Hey, it's summertime. It's Canada. We're avoiding the USA like the plague, like they have Ebola, and we're spending our money in this great country, and we're enjoying the great outdoors.
All right, well, let's talk about that. You know, camping, and we'll talk about the iconic camping that you and I grew up with, which is still a big part of Canadiana and our summers.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you about some of the cool
different
styles.
There's different versions of camping in Canada now.
Yeah, there is. How about this? Glamping. Luxury tents, domes, and yurts. Everybody loves a good yurt. And safari-style accommodations have exploded into popularity, Jim. I mean, this is where you go and you get like king-size beds.
Yes.
You've got electricity, private bathrooms.
Wi-Fi.
Hot tubs.
Yes.
Hot tub camping, baby.
So you're technically in a campground. I know we were years ago with our family in the national park in Prince Edward Island. And you're basically overlooking the Atlantic Ocean.
It's beautiful.
It's incredible. And the sand is white. And we were in a tent trailer, but they had yurts, the luxury for the glampers in the property.
What exactly is, and I don't want to sound like, I don't want to movie quote this, but what is a yurt?
It's like a dome, and it's got a wood frame with a canvas tent.
All right.
And I think it comes from like sort of South Asia, like Afghanistan and Nepal and countries like that. And that's how they would live in these yurts. And they're really cool structures and a lot of different places you can rent them. And they have the beds and like.
All right, we'll show one of these here and we'll have a look.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess they use the yurts, by the way, as sort of the base on which they start to, I guess, fancify and create elegant the camping experience, which I don't know. It seems kind of at cross purposes. How about this? Tiny cabin and off-grid stay. So now people are building these tiny homes. They operate on solar.
Yep.
They're completely off the grid, but you do have power and you do have access to water and things like that. That sounds like a fun way to do it.
And they have what they call the dry toilets or the compostable toilets.
Right.
And so that's become a big thing as well. It was Cavendish National Park, the Cavendish PEI, which is right on the water.
That's the one. It's so beautiful.
You go through like there's like sort of seagrass, and you're on white. It looks like flour. The sands and the campground. You wake up in the morning and the sun's over the Atlantic Ocean. And you're right there.
It is one of the most impactful things on that trip that I did, and it was the last point before we started heading back.
Yeah.
And we spent an extra day just because. First of all, it was wide open. And you might remember that park as being wide open.
Yeah.
Not a huge amount of trees and stuff like that, which meant there was a huge amount of interaction between people that were from all over the world.
Yeah.
We met people from Germany, from Asia. We met Canadians.
And you're just chit-chatting with your neighbors.
Yeah, it was very nice. How about this one, Jim? Dark sky camping. Camping specifically to view the stars and the northern lights. So Bruce Peninsula National Park has it. Grasslands National Park has it. And I mean, the people who really want astrophysics and a look at what's going on in our astrology.
Well, I would take a trip to the Yukon and camp up there.
I said astrology. It's astrophotography.
Oh, excuse me. But I would like to think camping in the Yukon in the summer. I mean, first of all, just incredible beauty. But yeah, you would have a great opportunity to see so much up there that you wouldn't.
Except I don't know that you see the stars in the summer there.
Because it's sun so far.
Yeah, they get a lot of sun there.
Yeah.
So you get more sun. That's the only star that you really see, I think, for the most part.
Oh, right.
But in a lot of the parts of, as you head north in Ontario.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. As you head north in Manitoba.
Quebec, places like that.
Quebec's
Newfoundland, maybe.
Yeah, as you said, not too far north, not to the Arctic north, but there are some.
Okay, that's a good one. I didn't know about that.
I would love to do that. By the way, you can do your astrology while you're doing it. I know that had to make our producer laugh. Of course, farm camping is something people are starting to do. Stay and work on a farm. Yep, you set up. They often have yurts, in fact. But throughout the day,
I love this idea.
Throughout the day, you get to care for animals.
Oh yeah,
tend to fields. You know what? It actually feels a little Tom Sawyer-ish to me in the sense that. Yeah, I mean, if I had a farm, I might set up a camp to get people to come and work for free as well.
Yeah.
But people love it. You learn about agriculture, farm to table eating, It's a very cool idea.
And for a lot of people, without the ambient light, when you're on a farm property, the stars at night in the summer,
God.
like you see everything.
Sunsets and sun.
Yeah,
You're up with the sun on a farm, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Nordic and winter camping is something we're going to get to at another time in the future. However, I will say this, much like the summer camping, certain parks that have it fill up quick. And we'll tell you later on in the show how you start to book those, certainly in Ontario and other parks. This is a good one. Bubble camping. You sleep in a transparent inflatable dome, Jim, under the stars.
Oh, really? Oh, that's fantastic.
You get a full view.
I thought you were talking about the boy in the bubble.
Yeah, it is that. You're allowed to go outside the bubble, though, however, John Travolta reference. But it's quite nice because you're outside, you get to enjoy. And of course, in some of the places where you want to enjoy the stars at night, what comes with nighttime?
Bugs.
Mosquitoes and bugs.
Yeah.
So you get freedom from that and still get a full view of the sky. Hobbit house camping. Underground and earth-sheltered structures inspired by the fantasy stories are popping up across Ontario and Quebec. So if you want to camp like a hobbit.
Okay, a quick tip. You mentioned the bugs. Our family got this thing called a thermocell. You can get it at Canadian Tire and that. It's about that big. It's a game changer when it comes to bugs when you're outside in the summer.
I have to endorse this.
Oh.
Were you skeptical?
Oh, well, I'm like, oh, well, okay. I'm totally skeptical.
Yeah. Well, guess what?
It works.
So anyway, having said that, there's a good endorsement. We should be selling that. Floating tent camping. Imagine sleeping on a raft anchored in the middle of the lake. And this is very popular.
Okay. Now that's a great concept because a lot of people, just the gentle rhythm, especially lakes in the summer in Canada, very still at night. And there's something very peaceful about it.
You can camp in a converted train car. You can camp in a lighthouse in Canada. You can go alpaca camping.
Now, the lighthouse one, I think, would be fantastic.
I think so,
if you think about the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean and all that, that would be really cool.
And, of course, they're always in dramatic scenarios. I mean, you get a lighthouse where there's drama right at the ocean side. Dark sky and UFO camping. Some campgrounds are marketing themselves now as good places to see UAPs, or as I used to call them, UFOs. Grasslands National Park again, and
that's Saskatchewan, correct?
Areas around Grasslands National Park and parts of Northern Ontario attract these visitors. I think you're right, Jim. Abandoned ghost town camping is another one that I thought was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing.
It is, and that's happening in different parts. Mountain scenery camping, of course, is a big one. And one of the other ones that kind of freaked me out a little bit was fire lookout tower camping.
Oh,
so you might recall in the deep forests of many parts of Ontario and throughout Canada, there are forest fire lookout towers.
And they would hire students for the summer basically to look for them.
Right. And so essentially now those have been converted into camping locations.
Wow.
Yeah. Make sure you don't turn over too far out of your sleeping bag. That's
well, they usually have pretty good railings in the top there.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Let's kind of switch gears for a second and talk about where to camp and how to camp, because there are amazing places across the country people can go to camp, but you need to book it and you need to be ready to do this.
For instance, we have some friends, our family, who go to Algonquin Park every year. If you're going to a big national park like that, Fundy National Park, New Brunswick, Algonquin Park, Ontario, some of the big ones in Canada, especially along the Pacific coast, you have to book early. But if you take time and go to your local park's website, depending where you live in Canada, you can pick a place, whether it's just a one tent setup for a couple people or a single person, whether it's a tent trailer, depending on what you have. And you just look at the different camp. We're blessed in Canada with so many parks and campsites, provincial parks and national parks, that have groom sites with water, with bathrooms, and you just go on the website, pick your dates, pick your location, and book it. Like I just went for a lark online to Agawa Provincial Park, which is on Lake Superior near Thunder Bay, where you guys were there recently, at $38 a night, and it's perfect for one tent, and you have the picnic table, the area to park your car, and the ubiquitous Canadian campsite fire pit.
I love those.
Yeah. And
Jim, I have like an affinity for those fire pits. The half barrel rounded, squared off at the front's got a grill on top of that.
You can cook anything on it and you get heat and everything.
Jim, I honestly believe society, that was a high water mark in society when we put those into our provincial parks, and we are struggling to find another one of those high water marks ever since. It is Canadian iconic classic barbecuing outdoors. I want one.
Well, now it's funny you say that. There are companies that agree with you, and there's different companies in Canada who are taking metal, scrap metal, and making them for sale for people. So, because a lot of people, if you think about, homes don't have massive yards anymore. This is a lot safer. It's very contained because you think about the size of your campsite in a campground.
It was meant to be safe and contained.
Contained. You can have your fire, you can have your grill, but everything's within the metal and less chance of stuff flying in your property and that. So there are now places in Canada, you can look it up if you just, wherever you live in Canada, you just search it, and there's probably a welder or someone making a.
I was going to say it's a great craft item,
right? Or who has wood stoves would have that for the outdoors as well.
Oh, look at us, so close to Father's Day, and this hitting my list late. You know what I remember? It's so funny that you're talking about that iconic. So let's talk about the iconic campsite here in Canada. You got your picnic table.
Yeah.
You've got your semi-level site, although you know, depending on what your
level is.
Yeah. Depending on where you are, you might have to do a little bit of leveling.
Some are more level than others.
Exactly. And you can tell because those are the ones remaining.
Yeah.
But having said that, there's a picnic table. You've got the sort of usually a gravel or sand, mainly sand site that you're putting yourself on.
Yep.
And you know, hopefully a little bit of a greenery around you, and of course, you know, the signs. That's one thing that it's just iconic to me that we.
And they're different from each province.
Oh, I didn't know that because in Ontario we've got the iconic brown sign with the
yellow lettering.
Yellow lettering. That you know that you're in a provincial park in Canada.
And a federal park, a national park, it looks like the sign to a federal building because it's a national building.
That's a little sad. It does take the.
It doesn't have the warmth of.
No, it doesn't have the Canadiana feel to it.
I'm going to northern Saskatchewan to this beautiful campsite, provincial park. And that has something. There's something iconic about it. So every province does it a little bit different.
That
and how
Bay
they
of
do
Fundy sign made me think, okay, this is where people go to sort mail.
Exactly. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
we're working on an infrastructure project for Mark Carney.
All right. Some of the places, if you haven't visited in Canada and you've heard them before, but let's just put them out there again, starting in the west, throughout the mountains, Banff National Park, Jasper National Park, and Yoho National Park. All must-haves for the camper who wants to be out west. Canoe and backcountry. I'm going to sneeze, pardon me.
That's okay. Bless you.
Pardon me. Do you want to canoe and head into the backcountry? Algonquin Provincial Park, of course.
It's incredible.
Killarney Provincial Park, another one.
I've been there. That's amazing.
And I haven't been to this one. Quetico Provincial Park. It's so remote, and it's considered to be one of the world-class paddling areas. I have not been there. Maybe I've said it wrong. Let me know in the remarks. Ocean and coastal camping, Pacific Rim National Park Reserve. I saw this when I was out west, and I thought to myself, this would be a really beautiful place to begin or end a journey, even if camping was only a portion of what you were doing.
I forgot because our oldest daughter lives in Edmonton, and she's been there. It's called Elk Island National Park.
I saw that on my journey.
They have elk, bison. It's incredible, and you can day camp, sleep over, canoe there, and the wildlife and the nature.
Yeah, with wildlife like that, you don't really have to take groceries with you.
I'm pretty sure that's just for show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Northern and unique experiences you might want to look. Oh, by the way, Cape Breton Highlands on the coast, incredible. And we've mentioned Fundy National Park, which is really, if you're going to pick one park that really represents that part of Canada, Fundy is an essential one.
Now, if you're in Quebec, there's one just east of Rimouski. It's right on the St. Lawrence River, and it's where the salt water meets the fresh water.
Right.
And it's called Parc National du Bic, or Bic Park. Right. And when you're there, there's like rabbits and all these animals just wandering around. And when you go to the water, you'll see seals in the saltwater part. But if you go to the freshwater, it's different wildlife. And
that's incredible.
Because, right?
Right.
It's a stunning park.
And probably certain species that only thrive in that mix of brine and freshwater.
Yes.
Wow.
And I know there's I believe it's in the Chicoutimi area. On the Saguenay, there is whale watching parks in Quebec as well, like beluga whales and stuff. So we're spoiled in Canada, the different kinds of parks we can
Gros
check out.
Morne National Park. What about that?
Yes.
One of Canada's most unique geological sites. The landscape there, like nothing else you'll see anywhere in the world. Grasslands National Park, we keep mentioning. And Tombstone Territorial Park, the Patagonia of the North. Because of the mountainscapes, because of the temperate forests and things like that are mixed within it. And that brings waterfalls and riverways and excellent paddling experiences.
You know what else we have in Canada people don't realize?
What's that?
We have deserts.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Southern Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
And the southern Okanagan Valley towards the American border. There are desert kind of geography there.
As we made our way through Regina, from Regina into Alberta, we saw the largest inland saltwater body of water in the world.
Yeah.
And so that's an incredible thing to experience. Much to do, great places to camp.
No excuses not to get out there.
And in fact, even if you're just saying to yourself, okay, we didn't get to it this year, start planning it now.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can create a heck of a journey your family will not forget for many years to come.
Real quick, here's a tip for a lot of people who don't realize early mid-September, if you can get the time off, that late summer, early fall camping is phenomenal. It's less busy because kids are back in school. So you have more choice at campsites and campgrounds. And that time of year is phenomenal to be in the great outdoors.
The fall and winter camping, I think we should hit it as
Yeah.
we get to the end of the summer here and get prepped. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate this.
Looking for reliable and convenient personal safety products? Less Lethal has you covered. As Canada's only authorized Byrna distributor, we provide a range of products for recreation, protection, and security. Explore our Byrna launcher lineup, including the LE, SD, TCR, and Mission 4, designed for different levels of performance and protection needs. We also offer the Banshee personal safety alarm, designed to protect children, women, and vulnerable individuals. Because your safety is our top priority. Shop now at lesslethal.ca.